they stayed to see a movie and didn't come out until after dark. At night, downtown Nortex seemed important too, as big and dark and dangerous as New York or Chicago. But Burl didn't really know what his father did until the day his mother took him out to a roaring oil rig in a field. One of the men came walking toward the car, wearing a steel helmet and filthy coveralls. Not until he spoke did Burl recognize his father, moving with a strange, purposeful energy. He took Burl's hand, and they entered a pool of noise so loud, so terrifying, that Burl felt he had lost his body and was floating. At the top of the steel steps, he glimpsed the spinning drill pipe at the dangerous heart of things. His father had his secrets, which he shared only with Burl. One of these secrets was his sadness. When Burl started Alamo Elementary, his father, who had so much money he didn't have to go to work, was sometimes waiting for him after school. Burl got in the car, and they drove out to the ruins of the old Magnolia Refinery on Sunshine Hill. Willie Drennan had been born there, in the year they drilled Magnolia No. 1, and 15,000 men had come to Nortex, all hoping to get rich. Willie's mother was a Burke Burnett girl, his father a driller from Houston who claimed to have fought in the Argonne. There were a dozen little boom towns springing up along the Red River, and they moved from one to another. They lived in Newtown, Stringtown, Petrolia, and Whizbang, tent cities in a forest of wooden derricks, where a glass of clean drinking water cost 10 cents. Willie's first memory was of a fire that burned for 3 days, destroying a good part of the Texas Wonder Pool. He thought the whole world was burning up. Then Willie's father departed. 2 years later, in 1920, he sent Willie's mother a postcard from Mexico City, saying he had remarried but hoped she would forgive him. He was thinking about heading down to South America. There were supposed to be some new fields opening up down there. His mother took a job cooking at a cafe, and they lived in a tar paper shack behind the Magnolia Refinery. In the fall, there were blue northers, and little jets of cold air came through the walls. In the spring, there were dust storms. The fine grit got into everything. Willie's mother tied a damp cloth around his face and wouldn't let him go outside. When he looked through the window, he could see her at the well, pumping hard, the wind blowing her long hair. At night, she read to him by the light of a kerosene lamp. On the wall was a calendar with an illustration by Maxfield Parrish, which he stared at until he fell asleep. 2 children by a lake at sunrise, under a sky of liquid blue. Willie grew up along with Nortex, playing on the first football team to win a state championship. The month after he graduated from high school, his mother died of a heart attack and left him all alone in the world. He went on to do other things, became a tool pusher, joined the army, fought in the Battle of the Bulge, and lost 2 toes to frostbite. Now Nortex was a big city, and the old wooden derricks had rotted where they stood. Only the storage tanks of the old Magnolia Refinery were left, great rusted steel globes in a field of sunflowers. But he still liked to go there and talk about his childhood, when he had found fossils along the Red River. "I wanted to be a geologist," he told Burl. "I might have, too, if the war hadn't come along. I saw myself going up to Alaska and making a big discovery. I thought it must look like the picture on the calendar. Big lakes, golden mountains, the sky blue." It was hard for Burl to believe his father had ever been a boy. "No, it's true," his father insisted. "When I was your age, I used to sit right here and dream of getting out of this town someday." Then he took another drink from the